Hey everybody, what's going on? This is John Eric Poli with My MMA News. And if you remember a couple months ago, I spoke to Beneil Dariush about a lot of different things. He was doing missionary work in Haiti. He had a lot going on with a upcoming fight. Now we have some answers to all of that, so we're going to talk to him here in just a moment. But before he gets into any of this exciting news, he has something going on in his personal life. Another baby on the way. So, Beneil, we'll bring you in here. How you doing, my man? And congratulations.
Doing good, man. First baby, super stoked. This is, I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna have a girl, and I wanted a girl, so I'm super excited.
Oh, really? You wanted to have a girl? What was the reasoning there?
Well, I have two nieces, Madison and Ella, and I've only interacted with girls, and I'm so used to just spending time with them, and just the amount I love them, and I just, I don't know. I guess I was leaning towards girls just because of them.
Cool. Well, again, congratulations. That's really nice. Happy for you. Happy for your wife. And I'm sure it's gonna be a crazy couple months then coming up for you. But I'm sure you're looking forward to that. So I guess we'll start now before we get into your fight. Which, by the way, for everybody who wants to know when your fight is, what you circle the dates on the calendar now. It goes down Super Bowl weekend. That's the first Saturday in February. Beneil will be taking on Diego Fiera. But before we get into that fight related stuff, I want to talk about the missionary work. You were just in Haiti not too long ago, like I said in the beginning. Kind of tell everybody, give us an update on what all took place down there in Haiti.
So I can't remember if it was May or June, but we set up it's a foundation where it's basically we bring in kids that their parents either couldn't take care of them anymore, or they lost their parents during the earthquake or whatever time it may be, and we've been taking we've been taking care of these kids. And we have a team there. We have a church there, and the church said, we've been wanting to do this for a long time, but it's not so easy for us. And so we made sure to get all the resources so they can do that. I went out there. Shoot, when was it I went out there? I think it was right after my fight. So it may have been August I was out there. It's a little hot, but it was a great trip. We got to meet all the kids. I kind of got to see the place and where they're staying, what they're eating, what they do all day. It was perfect. I had a great experience, and I'm probably gonna go again right after my fight. That's gonna be something I probably do on a regular basis.
And now, obviously, holiday season. I believe when this runs, it's going to be Christmas Eve. So, what was some of the stuff that you did down there for this holiday season?
So here, I haven't done much, to be honest with you. I've been stuck home, and I actually had COVID a couple of weeks ago, so I don't have to worry about having it during my fight, which is great. I think I had it like 5 weeks ago, so I'm good on that. It wasn't I had mild symptoms. I spent all day at home just on the treadmill or in the sauna, so that was pretty much it. Me at home, and then right before that, we were organizing a container shipment to go to Haiti. So we did that, and we set that up, and it should arrive there right around Christmas time or New Year's, and it's just gonna have a ton of stuff. We got a giant generator in there. They have clothes. They have baby food. They have it just a lot of things that they need. And just thinking about the list, they have books, toys. I can't remember everything right now, but uh, toiletry stuff. But it's stacked. So, and not only for the foundation, the orphanage, but also for whoever needs it. There's going to be a lot of people out there who they're struggling, so we can help them out as well.
Well, that's really great again that you do all of that work. But I did catch the COVID thing in the middle there, so I have to ask you a little bit about that now. What kind of, I guess, what all took place with that? Like, were you feeling sick or were you asymptomatic? What all happened there?
No, I had symptoms, so I thought I was for a little bit. I just felt tired. I thought I was kind of sore over the weekend. I was like, whatever, not a big deal. I didn't really have any serious symptoms. And then one night I stayed out to eat, and I was getting food, and there's no inside seating right now. It's all outdoor seating, and we sat outside, and it was a little cold, but like it wasn't that cold, and I'm all of a sudden freezing. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Why am I freezing? So we go home. I go to bed, and I seem to have a hard time going to bed. And in the morning, I just knew something was wrong. I went and got tested. I had COVID. I mean, it just felt like a normal cold to me. So it didn't feel anything too wild for me. I just, quarantined right away. I stayed away from everybody. And fortunately, everybody around me tested, and they were all negative. And except for my wife, but she was not maintaining distance. She can't help herself. She doesn't like to sleep by herself. So she got it. We both quarantined. We were over it in 2 weeks, and then we were pretty much back to normal. She was asymptomatic. She didn't even know she had it. I had to tell her to go get tested because I think she has it. She's been close to me. She goes to get tested at the same time, and that was it. I stayed home all day running, just shadow boxing, losing my mind, and just waiting to get back into the gym. I finally tested negative after I think it was like 12 days, and then I couldn't wait to get back in the gym.
So now, when you tested positive, did you have to go and relay that message to the UFC that you tested positive, or were you just able to kind of just take care of it on your own?
I'm not sure because I'm like 10 weeks out, right? Like 10, 11 weeks out. So I'm like, do I need to tell them? I never really got in contact with them. They have this Aura Ring thing, and the UFC reached out to me, and they're like, hey, you seem to have like elevated body temperature, and your heart rate's higher than normal. I'm normally like low 40s, high 30s, and all of a sudden I'm in the 60s. So they're like, something must be wrong. Roman messaged me, and I told him like, hey, yeah, I got tested. I have COVID. So I know Roman knows, but I didn't really like contact everybody or whoever I'm supposed to if I am supposed to. I just kind of I just thought, I'm healthy. There's nothing that's gonna get in the way of the fight on February 6th, and I'm the least likely candidate now to get it.
So now that ring that you just pointed to, I saw a couple people with those on, and for some I don't know why, I just assumed they were like wedding rings or something. I didn't even look too far into it. That's an actual like it tracks heart rate and everything else.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see inside of it, but it's got a bunch of technology stuff in there, and keeps track of heart rate, your sleep patterns. I have terrible sleep patterns. It keeps track of my sleep, my heart rate, my how I'm gonna be during the day, if I can perform well, if I can't perform well, and some days it just tells me, hey, sit your butt home and don't leave. And if I'm smart, I'll listen to it. Unfortunately, I'm not that smart.
Well, that's really cool. Somehow technology has come that far along. You can wear a ring that can tell you all of those things. But Beneil, let's start talking a little bit about your fight here. So, like I said, Diego Fiera, the last time we spoke, he was calling you out. But the last time we spoke, you were still hoping to rebook a fight with Charles Oliveira. Obviously, we know he just fought Tony Ferguson. So now here you are with Diego. Kind of just take us through though this behind the scenes though. Like, what was the conversation like with the UFC that you ended up getting Diego as the opponent?
I have no clue. But here's the thing: I was supposed to fight Charles according to matchmaker. I was talking to Sean Shelby. Sean's like, yeah, yeah, when Charles is ready, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. And I'm like, what do you mean when Charles is ready? Charles is calling out everybody in the top five except for me. And he's calling everybody else out. And I'm a little bit confused. You say he's not ready to fight, but his social media says another thing. And like, Sean is just trying to play the peacemaker and do his job basically. And out of nowhere, I see a fight with Charles and Tony. They got matched up, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? I was a little upset. And then as soon as as soon as I saw that, I got a contract sent to me for Diego. My manager messaged me saying, hey, there's a fight with Diego for you. Do you want it? And at that point, I just said, whatever, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, really, what we're gonna do at that point. And have you talked to the UFC though about this whole Charles situation, or are you just kind of letting bygones be bygones for the time being?
I, I, I don't think it's the UFC's fault. I don't think he's interested in fighting me right now. I think he understands I'm a dangerous fight and he doesn't want to risk it. So I just kind of brushed it off. I said, I get it. But eventually, you're not going to be able to run away from me. You're not going to be able to use the rankings as an excuse. Eventually, I'm going to be top dog. So they're going to be asking to fight me eventually. So that's kind of my mindset right now. I'm grateful Diego took it because he is ranked ahead of me. I wouldn't be surprised if Diego said, "Oh no, I want to fight somebody ranked higher," because stuff like that happens all the time. They ask for higher ranked guys. So I'm grateful that he took the fight, and we fought before, and I know it's a rematch for him, so I'm sure he's very motivated for this fight.
Yeah, I was just actually going to ask you too with Diego, being that the fact that it's a rematch. That fight happened so long ago. I'm forgetting the amount of years at the top of my head, but I know quite a bit of time has passed. So I was just wondering, just given how far away that fight was, will you be watching that first fight to prepare for this one, or has things changed just way too much to even look at that first fight?
Yeah, I would say things have changed a lot. I mean, I watched it once, maybe so far in this camp, and I'm not really using it as a measure. I'm focusing on his most recent fights with Pettis, with Mirbek Tarsuma, and uh, the other guy, the Chechnyan guy, Rustam Khabilov. So I watched these fights to see where he's at, and just kind of gauge his level. And man, he's obviously improved a lot. You can't say he hasn't improved a lot. So I'm I'm considering him a brand new opponent in my mind as far as who I'm fighting. And then another thing too is like I'm 1-0 against him. I want to make sure I'm 2-0 and not 1-1 because like that would suck. Like it's like going you do half the work and then you lose half the work and then so you have to do it all over again. I just want to get this done and over with. So I I'm very motivated for this fight. I want to put him away and just show like I am the guy in this division.
So now, when you were talking there a little bit about how how things have changed so much, you watched some of his recent fights. Where have you seen some changes in his game since your guys' first meeting?
His striking has obviously improved a lot. He's gotten better at standing up and tenacity, cardio. Honestly he's improved everywhere.
So now you obviously have you've changed quite a bit, obviously, since then yourself. So just how much better do you feel since that first meeting?
I mean I think I would be a different person. I think if I fought the the version of me 6 years ago, I think I could finish myself in 1 or 2 rounds. That's how I see it. But again, that's just the way it is. I should feel that way every year.
So another thing too that I also have to ask, fights really soon. I was just looking down. I'm thinking to myself like, wait, okay, I have this marked down here for the first weekend in February. That's you think with Christmas that coming up, oh yeah, it's February. No, that's like legit like what 6 weeks away maybe. So you're in camp, aren't you? Right now, you're probably right in the swing of things.
We're at 6.5 weeks right now. I'm pushing as hard as I can right now. I'm waking up sore, waking up lighter than usual. One of the things that makes it harder to train more is you don't get to eat as much as you'd like. Normally, if you eat more, you can train more. It really is that simple. So right now, I'm everything's getting stricter. Sparring is becoming more specific. Um, Conditioning, same thing. Everything's just dialing in, and I feel very good right now. Um, my last camp was only 5 weeks. This one is a lot longer, but I think if I had to fight next week, I think I'd be ready.
So now, how are you maintaining then, like the fact that you have 6 weeks left? You have the holidays coming up here. How are you just managing everything to make sure that you're all ready to go, 100% full speed, ready to go there in the first weekend in February?
So that's the thing. So a lot of people will say, okay, so you've peaked right now. I don't like to think of it as peaking. I think there's always room to grow. So my goal is to find ways to be faster, physically, mentally stronger, and then technically better. That's a big one. Technically better. So even though I'm in shape, I can go 5 minute rounds no problem right now. I need to be technically prepared as well. So that's a big thing right now. I'm focusing a lot on just being technically aware and just being ahead of the game.
And being that this fight's so early in the year, being that it's again the first weekend in February there, do you think you could fight maybe? Again, like not looking too far ahead. I know you want to get past Diego first, but do you think you could fight maybe two more times by the end of the year and get three fights in 2021?
Bro, I mean, I was hoping to get 3 fights this year, and I fought in March this year. So like, it shouldn't be an issue to get 3 fights. I mean, if the I was supposed to fight Charles in October, So 3 fights are not, it's not out of the question. In my first year and a half in the UFC, I fought 7 times. I think people kind of don't remember that too much, but being active is not a big deal to me. I don't mind being active. I enjoy being active, and I improve when I'm active. So it's not an issue. The issue is now is matchmaking. Once you get in the top 10, you get a top 15, it gets really political. This person doesn't want to fight this person. This person wants to fight this person, but that person doesn't want to fight. It's just one of those things, you know. So right now, I'm thinking about February 6th, and then God willing, I win that fight. I get something before my baby comes, and I think baby's due in June. So I would like to fight April, May.
So like we were saying there with things being political and people not wanting certain matchups and you want to be an active guy, you know, again, everything, let's say everything goes great in February. Would you be willing to say, you know what, hey, somebody pulled out, there's a fight in 2 weeks, I'm going to be that guy, I'm going to step in on short notice. So this way you could get that big time matchup that you've been waiting so long for?
Yeah, I mean, I did that for my first UFC debut. It was a 3 week fight. When I fought Jim Miller, it was 3 week fight, and when I fought James Vick, I think it was a 4 weeks notice. So it's short notice is not an issue for me. I was supposed to fight Charles, and again, it was supposed to be a 4 or 5 week notice. Even though I was coming out of a camp, you know, it was still a 4 or 5 week notice. Taking a short notice fight, not an issue. It's just, man, once I have my baby, I want to spend some time with my baby. Like, I don't want to think about fights. I'm a different person when I'm in camp. Even though my life gets a little bit simpler, I don't have a lot to do. I just focus on the fighting. I don't want to use the word bitter, but I'm a little bit more. I'm less patient. Let's put it that way. So I just want to have. I want to have 100 focus on spending time with my baby. That's really it for June. So that's why I would like to fight before June and kind of take it easy. Obviously, I'm going to train. I don't think I would be a good dad if I didn't train. I think I would be like, you know, too much energy and probably angry because I'm I got too much energy. But I don't want to think about fighting when I have my baby, at least not for a couple of months.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Obviously, be a busy couple months there too, having a little one around. Beneil, though, I really appreciate the time here today, and best of luck with everything in the future, with the baby on the way and everything else. Before I let you roll out, though, if you want to go ahead, you want to plug your social media management, sponsors, anything else that you want to say we can get to touch on, please feel free to do so now.
Sure. I mean, I train out of King's MMA. Under Rafael Cordero, best coach in the world. My management is Ali. You know, everybody. Some people love him, some people hate him. I think he's amazing. He's one of the best guys I know. Like when he's for his guys, he's the best. And you know, I thank my family. I thank God for just, man. I have such a blessed life. I have so many opportunities. I'm just looking forward to the next day all the time.
You know what? I actually lied. I have one other thing for you now because you mentioned King's MMA and Rafael Cordero there. Did you get to meet Mike Tyson? Because you helped Mike Tyson train for Roy Jones. Did you get to meet him?
I met Mike before, and when I met him, there was a lot of people around, and everybody was trying to talk to him. And I just thought to myself, it's Mike Tyson, man. Why are you guys trying to talk? You know, this is a time to listen. This is a time to just sit there and see what the guy has to say and just kind of absorb it and all. And yeah, Mike is great. I think I really enjoyed the change that I saw in my coach because he worked with Mike, because he was so inspired. He was so happy to be in the presence of Mike Tyson, and then to find out Mike is such a nice guy, and then to find out Mike is so willing to learn. Mike is so, it was just like, for my coach, it was not only was it a huge opportunity and a blessing, but it was also a humbling moment, making him realize, like, hey, I still got lots of things to learn, and so he got inspired and came back and brought us all these new weapons and tools. So it's been great.
Wow, that's really cool, and the fact that you and your camp got to be around Mike, and hearing all those stories with Mike, that's really really cool, especially for all the nostalgic boxing fans out there, a lot of which kind of transferred over to MMA here. Beneil, thanks again, man, for the time. I really appreciate it. Great interview as always, and best of luck to you the next couple months there. I know you're gonna be busy, not only the fight, but a little baby on the way there. So best of luck to you, and look forward to talking to you again soon here. And to all the viewers out there, I just want to remind everybody, like I always do, subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure you're going to MyMMANews to check out all of our great content as well.